listen carefully, because what I am about to say is not a whisper to comfort you. It is a strike to awaken you. Too many of you are walking through life like open doors, letting people come and go as they please, using you, draining you, stepping on you, and leaving you empty. And you have convinced yourself that being silent means being weak. No, silence, when guided by wisdom, is the sharpest sword you will ever hold. You don't have to scream to fight back. You don't have to explode to reclaim your power. You fight by standing still, by shutting access, by cutting off the supply they feed on without announcing it. That is the art of silent strength. They pretend to need your kindness but only exploit it. They act as if your patience is a weakness when in truth it is discipline they cannot comprehend. The moment you stop allowing them to manipulate your generosity, the moment you stop handing out pieces of yourself for free, you will watch them wither, because parasites do not survive when the host withdraws. You must become that host who closes the door without explanation. You must learn that not all battles are fought with fists or words. Some are won by refusing to play their game. They expect you to keep giving. They expect you to stay available. They expect you to absorb insult after insult, betrayal after betrayal, and still remain loyal. But every time you answer when they call, every time you solve their problems while drowning in your own, you teach them how to use you. And I am telling you today, stop teaching them. Teach them a new lesson, the lesson of absence, the lesson of silence, the lesson of a door closed so firmly that their hands will bleed trying to knock it open again. Do not confuse love with slavery. Do not mistake loyalty for self-destruction. The people who truly value you will never need to drain you to prove your worth to them. It is the pretenders, the takers, the manipulators who disguise their demands as friendship, as love, as family obligation. They know exactly what they are doing. They know the weight they are placing on your shoulders. And they smile because they think you will never set it down. But imagine the shock on their faces when one day you no longer answer, when one day you no longer bend, when one day you no longer give them access to the garden of your soul. Power does not always roar. Sometimes power is the lock you place on the gate, the silence that answers their manipulation, the distance you create without justification. Stop explaining yourself to people who already decided to misunderstand you. Stop bleeding for those who would not give you a drop of water. Stop pouring your life into empty hands that only stretch out for more. The silence you keep will echo louder than any argument, because they thrive on your reactions. They thrive on your explanations. They thrive on your energy. Take that away and watch them collapse under the weight of their own emptiness. Some of you have been conditioned to believe that saying no makes you cruel, that withdrawing makes you selfish, that guarding yourself makes you heartless. But the truth is, protecting yourself is the highest form of wisdom. You were not created to be used like a tool and discarded when convenient. You were not born to be a servant to other people's laziness, greed, or manipulation. You were born with dignity, and every time you let someone use you, you spit on that dignity. Enough. Stand in your silence. Do not announce your boundaries. Live them. Do not warn them that you are leaving. Just disappear. That is how you fight back. That is how you reclaim your power without raising a single word. They will call you cold. They will call you changed. They will call you arrogant. Let them. Their words are weapons that lose all power the moment you refuse to engage. They are shouting into an empty room. when you no longer respond. And while they are wasting energy trying to break down a door that will never open again, you are free, you are whole, you are rising. That is the silent victory they will never recover from. Do not underestimate the strength of a closed mouth. Do not underestimate the weapon of your withdrawal. Let your silence be the storm that dismantles their arrogance. Let your stillness be the earthquake that shakes their false sense of control, because sometimes the most powerful strike you can make is to refuse to play the game altogether. Refuse to be the puppet. Refuse to be the stepping stone. Refuse to be the easy target. When you cut off access, you force them to face themselves, and that is a battle they cannot win. I will keep speaking until it pierces you. Stop letting them use you. Stop letting them drain you. Stop believing that your role in life is to suffer for the comfort of others. Life is too short to live as a servant to manipulation. Stand in your silence. Cloak yourself in distance. Guard your energy like a priceless treasure. And when they realize they can no longer use you, when they feel the sting of being denied access to your spirit, they will finally learn that you were never weak. You were just merciful. And mercy has limits. They will not understand your silence at first. They will be confused. They will wonder why their usual tricks no longer work. They will test you again, calling, demanding, trying to provoke the old version of you who gave endlessly, who sacrificed everything just to keep them satisfied. But when you refuse to respond, when you withdraw without anger and without explanation, you become untouchable. This is the discipline they never expected from you. This is the strength that terrifies them more than any confrontation, because a silent refusal is more powerful than 1,000 words of justification. Do not forget, silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is your declaration that you will not waste your breath on those who have already proven unworthy of it. Think of it. Have you ever noticed how much they crave your reaction? How they feed on your explanations, your tears, your outbursts? Every time you explained yourself, you were fueling them. Every time you argued, you were giving them energy. Every time you allowed their chaos to draw you into battle, you were letting them win. The greatest weapon you have is to starve them of that energy, to give them nothing, to let your silence be the wall they cannot climb. And yes, this will hurt them. It will crush their illusion of control. It will expose their dependence on your kindness, on your loyalty, on your willingness to keep giving. You will see it in their eyes, the shock, the disbelief, the anger. They will say you've changed. They will say you've become selfish. But let me tell you the truth, you have not changed. You have awakened. You have opened your eyes to the truth that you were never meant to be their crutch, their servant, their safety net. You were meant to walk with dignity, to live with peace, to rise with strength. The ones who truly value you will never demand your silence in exchange for their comfort. They will never exploit your patience as a weakness. They will never drain you of life and call it love. True love, true friendship, true respect, these do not enslave you, they empower you. They do not take from you endlessly, they give back. And so, the moment you stop allowing the users to feed on your soul, the moment you let your silence close the door, you create space for those who will honor your worth. Think about the countless nights you have cried for people who did not care. Think about the times you sacrificed your dreams to carry others who would never carry you. Think about the hours, the energy, the years you poured into people who only wanted to take more. And then ask yourself, What would your life look like if all that energy was poured back into you? Into your growth, your healing, your purpose. This is why silence is power, because it redirects the energy you wasted on the undeserving and places it back where it belongs, on you. I tell you now, stop confusing noise with strength. Stop believing that the louder you fight, the stronger you are. No, true strength is the ability to walk away without announcing it, to remove yourself without warning, to let your absence do the speaking. There is no argument more powerful than being unreachable. There is no battle cry louder than a door that never opens again. And I will not lie to you, choosing silence takes courage, because your heart will want to explain, your emotions will want to react, your mind will want to defend itself. But when you choose silence, you rise above the battlefield. You refuse to fight on their terms. You stand tall while they drown in their own noise. And this is where you win. Not in shouting, not in endless arguments, but in unshakable stillness. The manipulators, the users, the takers, they cannot survive without your cooperation. They cannot function if you no longer fuel them. So understand this: the power has always been in your hands. You were never weak. You were never trapped. You were simply giving your strength away. But the moment you reclaim it, the moment you withdraw silently, you unleash a force they cannot contain. And here is the most beautiful truth: silence not only protects you, it heals you. It creates space for peace to enter. It allows your soul to breathe again. You will feel the weight lift from your shoulders. You will realize how light life becomes when you stop carrying those who were never meant to be carried. You will see how free your spirit feels when you are no longer bound by their chains of expectation. This is not cruelty, this is freedom. This is the life you were meant to live. Do not be afraid of their opinions. Do not be afraid of their judgment. Let them call you selfish. Let them call you arrogant. Let them say you've changed, because you have. You've changed from being used to being free. You've changed from being drained to being filled. You've changed from being manipulated to being unshakable. That is not selfishness. That is survival. That is strength. That is wisdom. Every time you allow someone to take advantage of your kindness, you are handing them a piece of your soul that was never theirs to hold. And they do not cherish it. They do not protect it. They trample it under their feet while stretching out their hands for more. You must understand, people who use you are not blind. They know exactly what they are doing. They see your patience. They see your loyalty. They see your willingness to sacrifice. And instead of honoring it, they exploit it. They believe your silence means consent. But your silence must become a weapon, not a weakness. When you choose silence with wisdom, you are no longer giving them the stage to act out their manipulations. You are no longer handing them the script. They thrive when you argue, when you defend, when you beg to be understood. That is where they draw their power. But when you step back, when you close your lips, when you stop explaining yourself, you cut the strings that allow them to control you. They will flail, they will scream, they will accuse, but you will not move. And in that stillness, you rise higher than their chaos. You must stop being afraid of disappointing people who are not afraid of destroying you. Why do you fear their anger when they never feared your tears? Why do you tremble at the thought of being called cold when they were never ashamed of being cruel? You owe no one an explanation for protecting your peace. You owe no one justification for reclaiming your time. You owe no one access to your spirit if all they ever do is take. That there is a deep freedom in becoming unreachable. When you withdraw silently, you no longer participate in the cycles of drama they create. You no longer fuel the fire they ignite. And the beauty of it is this: the silence is not empty. It is filled with dignity. It is filled with power. It is filled with a message that echoes louder than any words. I will not be used anymore. Let them rage. Let them spread lies about you. Let them twist your silence into something ugly. That is their nature. But you stay rooted, stay unmoved, stay quiet. Because your peace speaks for itself. Your absence will reveal the truth. They will say you are the villain, but the emptiness you leave behind will expose who they really were all along. Do not let your heart deceive you into thinking silence is cruel. Silence is mercy. Because had you spoken, your words might have burned bridges beyond repair. Had you retaliated, you may have destroyed yourself in the process. But silence keeps your dignity intact while denying them the satisfaction of seeing you broken. Silence is the purest form of resistance. And yes, there will be loneliness in this path. When you withdraw from those who use you, there will be moments where you feel the void. But that void is not emptiness. It is space. Space for peace to enter. Space for true relationships to grow. Space for your soul to breathe again. Too often we confuse the comfort of familiarity with love. We hold on to abusers, manipulators, and users simply because we fear being alone. But what you do not realize is that silence and solitude are the birthplace of strength. In your silence, you discover who you are without the weight of their demands. Do not confuse noise with connection. Just because someone fills your ears with words does not mean they fill your soul with love. And just because your silence unsettles them does not mean you are wrong. It means you are finally disrupting their game. You are finally teaching them a lesson they cannot ignore, that you will not be used, not anymore, not ever again. And understand this: fighting back silently does not mean becoming passive. It means becoming strategic. It means refusing to pour your energy into empty battles. It means knowing when to walk away instead of trying to win arguments that were designed for you to lose. It means preserving your strength for what truly matters: your growth, your future, your peace. There comes a point in life when you must decide who you are going to be: the one who is endlessly used, or the one who finally awakens. Because life will not stop presenting you with manipulators. It will not stop sending users who smile with their lips but devour with their hearts. They will always come because light attracts moths, and your kindness is a flame. But the flame is not meant to burn for those who only drain. The flame is meant to light your path, to warm your spirit, to guide those who walk with you in truth. You must protect that flame. You must guard it with silence when words would only feed the ones who seek to extinguish it. Think of how much of your life has been wasted repeating yourself to people who never intended to understand you. Think of how many apologies you gave to people who were never sorry for what they did to you. Think of how often you lowered yourself just to lift someone who had no intention of standing on their own. That is not love. That is not loyalty. That is not righteousness. That is slavery. And it ends the day you refuse to give them your words, your time, your energy. You see, silence is not empty. It is full. It is full of boundaries. It is full of wisdom. It is full of strength. It tells them what your words never could be, that your spirit cannot be bought, your patience cannot be manipulated, and your kindness cannot be used as currency. Silence declares, I am done playing the role you wrote for me. I am no longer the character in your story. I am the author of my own. And when you stand in that silence, you will feel fear at first, because you are so used to explaining, so used to defending, so used to being the one who absorbs the blows. You will wonder, what will happen if I stop answering? What would they think of me if I walk away without a word? But that fear is the residue of chains breaking. That fear is the sound of your old self dying so your true self can live. You are not losing control, you are reclaiming it. Do not be deceived. They will try everything to pull you back. They will guilt you. They will mock you. They will paint you as the villain. They will say you are heartless, ungrateful, even cruel. But remember this, when people can no longer use you, they will try to shame you. When people can no longer control you, they will try to slander you. And when people can no longer drain you, they will call you selfish. Do not bow to these lies. Stand firm in your silence, because your silence is truth. Truth does not beg to be believed. Truth does not argue to be accepted. Truth stands tall whether it is recognized or rejected. And so must you. You must be the living embodiment of that truth. Let them hurl accusations. Let them twist stories. Let them paint you in colors that do not belong to you. Their brush cannot change the canvas of your soul. Their words cannot redefine your worth. Their noise cannot penetrate the fortress of your silence. I tell you this, when you stop letting them use you, you will lose some people. But understand me clearly. You are not losing friends, you are losing chains. You are not losing family, you are losing captors. You are not losing love, you are losing poison. And when poison leaves your body, the pain may be sharp, but the healing is real. You will grieve, yes, but in that grief there is cleansing. In that silence there is resurrection. And then something beautiful happens. When you stop being available to the wrong people, you become available to the right ones. When you stop pouring yourself out into empty wells, you discover rivers that flow back into you. When you stop answering the calls of manipulators, you begin to hear the call of your own soul, and that call will lead you higher than you have ever gone before. Do not underestimate the transformation that comes with silence. In your silence, you will find clarity. In your silence, you will rediscover your own voice, not the voice that begs to be heard by others, but the voice that commands your own destiny. In your silence, you will see who truly respects you, because those who love you will never need to use you, and those who need to use you will never truly love you. So hold your silence like a sword, not to wound, but to protect, not to destroy, but to defend. And when they realize that you no longer bend, when they see that your silence is stronger than their words, when they feel the sting of no longer having access to you, they will finally understand that you were never weak. You were powerful beyond measure. You were simply giving that power away, but no more. You have been told that kindness means allowing others to walk over you. You have been told that forgiveness means giving them another chance to hurt you. You have been told that patience means enduring their endless disrespect. But I am here to tell you, this is a lie. Kindness is not slavery. Forgiveness is not permission. Patience is not the surrender of your soul. There is a line where love ends and self-destruction begins, and too many of you have crossed it without realizing. Today is the day you step back across that line and reclaim what was always yours, your dignity, your voice, your strength. The world is full of people who only see you as a resource to be drained. They will not honor your loyalty. They will not cherish your sacrifice. They will not value your devotion. They see you as fuel, and when your fire burns low, they will discard you and look for another flame to consume. But hear me, your fire is sacred. Your spirit is not disposable, and anyone who treats you as such does not deserve access to you. You fight back silently by cutting the cords they have tied around you. Every demand they placed on you, every manipulation they whispered into your ears, every guilt they laid upon your shoulders, you cut it off. Not with rage, not with arguments, not with endless explanations, but with the silence that cannot be shaken. When you stop answering their calls, when you stop explaining your absence, when you stop offering your life on the altar of their convenience, they will finally see who you are. And who you are is not a servant to their selfishness. Understand this: when you refuse to be used, they will hate you for it. They will call you names. They will accuse you of betrayal. They will twist your silence into a weapon against you. But that is only because their survival depended on your submission. The day you break free is the day their kingdom crumbles. And though they may rage, though they may slander, though they may beg, they cannot chain you again if you remain rooted in silence. Do not let your heart deceive you into thinking that silence makes you cruel. Silence is wisdom. Silence is maturity. Silence is the recognition that your energy is too precious to waste on people committed to misunderstanding you. Silence is not a lack of love. It is a declaration that love must first begin with yourself. And when you love yourself enough to stop being used, you teach the world how to treat you. I know some of you are afraid that if you withdraw, you will lose everyone. Afraid that if you stop giving, you will be abandoned. But ask yourself this: what kind of people only stay when they can use you? What kind of relationships survive only as long as you are being drained? That is not love, that is exploitation. And losing exploitation is not a loss, it is a liberation. Do not be afraid to walk alone. Better to walk in silence by yourself than to walk in noise with those who betray you. Better to stand in solitude with peace than to stand in a crowd while being used. Better to protect your heart in silence than to have it shattered by hands that never cared to hold it. And when you walk away, walk with conviction. Do not look back. Do not second guess. Do not allow guilt to chain you again. The same people who drained you will cry victim the moment you set yourself free. But remember this: they were never victims of your silence. You were the victim of their endless demands. Your silence is not cruelty, it is justice. It is balance. It is the universe restoring what has been stolen from you. Hold fast to this truth. The strongest battles are not fought in the open. They are fought in the heart. And when you master the art of silence, you win the war without lifting a weapon. You deny them what they crave most: your energy, your reaction, your attention. And in that denial, you grow stronger, you rise higher, you become unshakable. There is a silence that heals, and there is a silence that destroys. The silence I am speaking of is not weakness. It is the silence that heals your soul and destroys the hold others have over you. It is the silence that says, I will not be available to be drained anymore. It is the silence that builds walls where doors used to be, gates where entry used to be free, and boundaries where exploitation used to reign. Think about it. Every time they used you, it was not because they were strong, but because you gave them permission. Every manipulation, every favor wrapped in guilt, every false promise, they only worked because you allowed them to work. But when you awaken, when you recognize your worth, their tricks lose their power. The strings fall, the puppet show ends, and the stage goes dark. That is what your silence does. It removes the spotlight they were standing under. It denies them the audience they fed on. And when there is no audience, their performance collapses. Stop letting people drain the life out of you while they smile in your face. Stop mistaking their need for your help as proof of their care for you. Users will always act desperate when their access is threatened. They will tell you they cannot live without you, but what they mean is they cannot use you without you. Do not confuse desperation for love. Love respects. Love protects. Love does not manipulate. The strongest stance you can take is the one where you no longer argue with those who only want to twist your words. You no longer explain to those who have already decided to misunderstand you. You no longer offer yourself to those who see your worth only in what they can take. Your silence becomes the teacher they never expected. It teaches them that you will not dance to their music anymore. It teaches them that your loyalty is not eternal when it is abused. It teaches them that your kindness has limits. And here is what you must understand: silence will not only protect you, it will transform you. Because when you stop pouring your energy into the wrong places, you suddenly discover how much of that energy you still have. You realize you were not weak, you were simply drained. You realize you were not lost. You were simply carrying too many people who refused to walk on their own. You realize you were not broken. You were simply surrounded by those who benefited from keeping you broken. In your silence, you will begin to hear things you never noticed before. The voice of your own soul, the whisper of peace, the rhythm of your true purpose. When the noise of manipulation fades, the melody of truth becomes clear. That is why silence is not just absence, it is presence. It is the presence of clarity, of power, of healing. But let me warn you, silence will expose people. The ones who only wanted to use you will reveal themselves when they realize they no longer have access. They will rage, they will gossip, they will throw tantrums, but their reaction is not your responsibility. Their anger is proof of their dependency. Their fury is proof of their weakness. And their absence, when you no longer give, is proof that they were never truly with you. Do not mistake the loss of manipulators for the loss of love. You have not lost love, you have lost chains. You have not lost friends, you have lost burdens. You have not lost family. You have lost those who claimed blood but never gave loyalty. This is not loss. This is freedom. This is the unveiling of truth. And when the truth comes, walk in it boldly. Do not apologize for it. Do not explain it away. Do not soften it to make others comfortable. You must walk with the conviction that your peace is more important than their approval, that your dignity is more valuable than their acceptance, that your freedom is worth more than their false love. This is how you fight back, not by shouting, not by cursing, not by lowering yourself to their level, but by rising above in silence, because nothing unsettles the manipulator more than being ignored. Nothing destroys the user more than being cut off. Nothing terrifies the abuser more than your refusal to play their game. You win not by matching their noise, but by refusing to contribute to it. And in that silence, your spirit will rise. In that silence, your strength will grow. In that silence, you will become unshakable. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is wisdom. Silence is strength. Silence is the mark of one who no longer begs to be valued, but who knows their value and protects it with everything they are. And so I tell you this with all the fire of truth in my soul. Stop letting them use you. Your life is not a marketplace where anyone can come and take freely. Your heart is not a public well for people to draw from until it runs dry. Your spirit is not a doormat for others to wipe their filth upon. You were created with dignity, clothed in strength, and filled with purpose. Every time you allow yourself to be used, you trade pieces of that dignity away. But the moment you choose silence, the moment you stop explaining, stop defending, stop giving yourself away to those who have never honored you, you take it all back. Yes, they will rage. Yes, they will call you selfish, cold, arrogant. Let them. Their words are the cries of people who have lost control over you. Their accusations are proof that your silence has cut deeper than any argument ever could. Do not bend. Do not return. Do not apologize for protecting what is sacred. Your peace is sacred. Your heart is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Guard them as treasures because they are treasures. Remember this, silence is not weakness. It is strength wrapped in wisdom. Silence is not cruelty. It is love directed back to where it belongs, to yourself. Silence is not surrender. It is victory. It is the declaration that you will not fight battles meant to keep you enslaved. It is the roar of the spirit that no longer bows to manipulation. So walk away without noise. Close the doors without warning. And let your absence thunder louder than any voice you could ever raise. Because the most powerful fight you will ever win is the one where you do not swing a sword, do not shout a word, and yet you rise higher than every enemy who tried to chain you. That is the power of silent resistance. That is the strength of a soul that refuses to be used. And that is the beginning of your freedom